Okay guys, this is KGK Revealed again with another SoulCalibur V character customization tutorial. And this time around, decided to go back to the Marvel series. I saw a couple of YouTube videos where they try to make this character. And different interpretations of him, but I gave it a shot myself. I think that I got a better idea on how to get him done, in my opinion. We're gonna go towards Gambit. So I'm gonna show you what I have so far for Gambit. Now, this is what I did for Gambit. Try to do everything I could when I looked at his outfit. Gave him the boots, the jacket, the eyes, the hair, the little piece he has on his head, and even the stickers on his pants. That little pattern that he had, that blue pattern. So this is what I have now, and you liking it? Cool. And I'm gonna show you basically how to copy this pattern so you can use Gambit in SoulCalibur V. So for starters, we'll start with the height. Set the height to 4, and the body type is at normal. I use face 4 for his facial features, and his hairstyle set at short untidy. His eyebrows, I set that for eyebrows 2, and for the voice, I use Cold Assassin. I set the pitch to -3 and the tone to 0. It gives him like a murderous voice. Even though he's not a murderer, he didn't really care sometimes about breaking the rules. That's how Gambit really got down. So I thought that voice fit down with his personality. Let's see, for his body structure, I set everything to -20, and his muscle mass I put at 3. That way I get his body type. Alright, now that we took care of the physical components, let's go to the equipment. So, it's that headband piece I have difficulty pronouncing. I'll give it a shot. Let's see, Mawari Hachigani. Okay, got it. So Mawari Hachigani, that's the head piece that you got again for his head equipment. For his undergarments, I used a long sleeve top. For the upper body equipment, I used a leather shirt, and for the upper body covering, I decided to use the Warrior's vest. People use a different jacket, but I think the Warrior's vest is better because it gives that back piece that drops in the back that Gambit did have. So to me, it works better. They're throwing anything else or like a raincoat on. You want to see his pants. You gotta see the stripes. And then for the pants, I use leather pants. This you could probably variate, but leather pants works best for me. Neck and back equipment, I use the Crimson Scar. And for the arms, I use the leather gloves. See, now I added steel pauldrons on his shoulders, and I'll explain why in the coloring section. And for the ankle equipment, use bandages. If you look now, you'll notice that that's not shoes. That's actually like, bandages. And then he got the scorpion greaves on. Because in this game, the scorpion greaves are boots that don't have covering for the feet. So you use bandages to make it look like it's an actual boot. From a distance, you would not even notice that that's the case. It actually looks like a boot from a distance. But once you get up close, you're like, oh wait, that's not a boot. That's something else. So basically, yeah, I think that would fit best for his equipment. There's nothing for specialized equipment, so if you want to add something, I don't know what you can add, but I'm sure you can think of something cool to add that I didn't, then feel free to. By the way, like I said in my previous video, in these videos, no DLC content is used. So if you have an idea that requires DLC content, you may put so down on the comment section, but it does not mean that I'm going to use it in another video. Just letting you know. Now, let's get to colors and patterns. It's obvious what weapon style he's going to use, so everyone knows it has to be Zeta. But for now, we'll get to his colors and patterns. So, for the skin color, we're going to use 265. For undergarments, 922. For the hair, facial hair, and eyebrow color, it's all going to be the same at 9130. You can vary the color if you want. You don't have to. That's your opinion. That's your choice. But, yet again, play around with it if you want. So from here, the last more important color for the body is his eye colors. Now what I did was I set the first palette to 9118 and the second one to 9119. This way you can differentiate the eyes a little bit more, and it gives him more of that glowing effect that his eyes had whenever he used like his powers, his kinetic energy. Alright, now we're going to get to the actual coloring of the outfit. And you'll understand why I did the coloring the way I did. So let's start with the head equipment. I actually used 540-30 for the first palette for the head equipment. And for the second color, I used a solid black, but the actual numbers will be 04231. Now for the undergarments colors, I used 76330. If you look a little closer, I believe you can see it. Let's see. Yeah, that little section right there, it faded out. That's the way the undergarment color would be. Basically for like that little part in the neck. So now for the upper body color. This shirt here, the first color is 95519 to give it that pink. And the second color I use for the sleeves. See, here's the trick with this jacket. It's not a jacket. It's a vest. So basically you have to play with illusion. You have to make it look like it's a jacket. See, the sleeves, you can change the color of the sleeves using this default palette system. But that's it. That's the only thing you can change. You know, so with that being the case, you basically gonna have to play around with it, and you're gonna need the shoulder poses for that same problem. Now, with the jacket, you set the jacket to the same exact color as the previous. All those three colors are set at 9622. So these three colors here, all that's the same 9622. Now for the lower body equipment. This is crucial. For the first palette, use basic 5. Basic 5, I use that because you get enough lines. You know, you get a good 4 stripes to go through. So the first 3 stripes actually set at black, where the last stripe I set at pink. And then I sized out to his maximum. So you see those 2 stripes on his pants? That's actually the pink stripes, you know, that I made using this system, you know. Now, all you have to do from here is, that's the one I'm looking for, size it out to its maximum size. Basically put size all the way up to the absolute maximum. This way you have only 2 stripes rather than have like 20, you know. Okay, now let's go to the scarf. The scarf, we use 93317 for the color. For the gloves, 0331 seems to work. And for the shoulder pauldrons, the shoulder pauldrons are going to have the same color as everything else, 9625. Basically, you want the pauldrons to be there because if it's not there, a little bit of pink will be exposed. So you use the pauldrons to cover that up. If you look inside that one, you can see where the pink is at, you know. But because of the shoulder pauldrons, when you're fighting, you'll never see it. That's why I added it. If you want, you could probably put some stickers, but even then, the problem is that again, the sections where, you know, the jacket would be exposed at is more obvious. So then people will understand more that it's not a jacket, it's actually a vest covering a shirt. The shoulder pauldrons cover that up, so that way it's more hidden, you know. It's a way to play with illusions with the equipment to, you know, hide what it really is. Last, the boots. The boots and the bandages. For the bandages, I set the color to 2013. Where the boots, same exact thing. This way they kind of meld together and they stay together. So that's all you have to do for that. Okay, so now that we have the basic colors done, the last thing is that, you know, the blue pattern on his pants. The little triangle shapes. I use triangles. You probably could use, you know, boxes, but the reason I use triangles because it gave me a bigger size than when I use like the rectangle. You know, sorry, not the rectangle, the square. The squares don't give me a big enough size when I use that pattern, so I used the triangles instead because I got a bigger size and then it seemed to fit better. So, you know, you could try something different, but I find that using Motif 2 and give it the color pattern of 93515, you can then just size it out appropriately and set it according to, how it's supposed to look like. Now here's the only problem with this. I can't really tell you in this case how to get that pattern. The only thing I could do is, direct you on how to do it yourself. The secret is, if you have a TV controller from now or from the past that ever had like the channel button where there was a triangle shape for up and a triangle shape for down, it has the same concept. Where you basically want two triangles basically similar or the same size, and what you do is one's pointing up, the other one's pointing down. You want to have the base of the triangle fit right inside of the stripes. And that's it for doing the pattern. Other than that, you just got to play around with location and moving it around. But that's basically what you'll have to do to get that, pattern on his pants. Now for the weapon, I had to go over this part because, Gambit's weapon. A lot of times I look at his pictures, I found a gray staff. That's I believe his main color for his weapon. I mean, if it's a different color, let me know. Or I'll probably update the video and say so in like a little comment section or something like that as an annotation. But what I used for his color was I set the first palette to 9012, the second one to 9031. I'll tell you the weapon that I use in particular to, get these options. But I believe it's the KGKProductionz. Now, the weapon trail I use 95531 because, yet again, he's Gambit. Kinetic energy, purple. You get the idea. So, just remember the first two colors I told you. If you have to go back in the video, I'll tell you the name of the weapon now. Okay, it is the KGKProductionz. So, it's the KGKProductionz. Now, just remember the colors that I told you before for the weapon. 9012, 9031. And that's what you use for a staff. And you should have Gambit, looking either similar, the same, or if you found something different to do, maybe even better than mine. But I think that if you want a good Gambit, it should at least be modeled around this one. At the very least, it should be modeled around this idea and concept. As far as how he plays and how he sounds, I'll use Mock Battle to show you exactly how it feels like playing with Gambit. So that way, you understand why I did what I did in character creation. Okay guys, so that's it for the SoulCalibur V Gambit tutorial. If you have any more ideas about any characters you want me to make sure you send them to me in like my mailbox or comment them, and I can try to make those characters. I have one that I did make for someone, and I'm going to make a video for him pretty soon. I just got back from my 2-month leave of playing this game, so I apologize for that, but I'm back. So now if you have any requests, I will make them now and just throw them right out there on the internet. Other than that, I hope you had a good time watching this video and you learned a lot of stuff. Take care. This is another KGK video. This is KGK Revealed, and I'll see you later.